The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, you know, the one thing that Melo has never had a problem with is finding his own shot. And that's such a luxury to have late in games when the defense really tightens up. You can get him the ball, and he'll create something, either an open look, a drive to the hole, or get himself to the foul line.
And that isn't the end of it there either. I mean, even if you stick with Melo and get a hand in his face, a lot of times it doesn't phase him. You might as well not even bother the way he finishes with defenders in his grill. I mean, he's got excellent concentration shooting the ball.
Just a single game at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Knicks. A victory here would give them the Atlantic Division Championship.
Well, they were a fashionable pick to be one of the NBA's top teams coming into this season. And that's exactly the way it's worked out. Maybe they've even been a little better than what we thought.
Steve, it's really been a stellar season for him. I mean, all that hype, I think, was justified. And I do not say that much. I think a lot of stuff is overhyped, but not these guys. We've seen them win in a lot of different ways. They're a complete team.
Now here's Anthony. Shumpert passes to Stoudemire. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
I tell you what, it's hard to argue with the record for Coach Tom Thibodeau of the Bulls, but the rumor mill has it that the front office hasn't been happy with how hard he's ridden his top players. Luol Deng missed time last season with the hamstring injury. Joakim Noah came down with plantar fasciitis. Hey, those things happen, and I'm not quite sure you can put that at the feet of Tom Thibodeau.
And so it's the Knicks getting on the board first. Rose kicks it to Noah. Rose, that's good.
The soft finger roll is just one of the many finishing moves he has in his bag of shot making.
And going back to Tom Thibodeau and that minutes load on his stars, it seems it's getting harder for players to weather big minute speed these days.
I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see this Bulls team this year and beyond. Will that wear them down? Their guys played too many minutes. They've had a lot of injuries. I think it's time to scale back a little bit on the minutes played.
Here's Rose after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. Open look, but not good on the shot from Rose. Puts it up from 15. That one rolling around and rims out.
Defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
There's the feed to Boozer. The dish to Dang. Tries it from the top of the key. There's the bucket. Good. Here's Lynn. Skamey at 12. And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul.
What a great play to sacrifice his body and take the hit.
Yeah, I thought that was excellent awareness and anticipation to beat him to the spot there.
Last game for the Bulls, it was a loss to Detroit.
Guys, given their performance in that game, which was less than pretty, by the way, I had a hard time believing it wound up as close as it did.
Likewise, I feel the same way, Steve. I mean, when it was coming down the stretch, I was thinking, how in the heck are they still in this game? You gotta be kidding me. You got the sense that it was never going to be their night.
Boy, what a great job making good on the second opportunity. He stayed with that play from start to finish.
Bulls shooting their first free throw of the contest.
And their success rate from the stripe this season is about 77%.
Free throw, good. Butler.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guy. He's still developing his outside shot, and he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
Anthony against Dang. On deep. The shot by Anthony, no good. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach to take him in, other family to take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette speaks volumes of his spirit.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. I just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team.
Just 5 to shoot. Rose And that one's good. Rose has got his second bucket.
Well, he's very strong inside, particularly as a finisher. So even if you give him a hard foul, hard contact, nothing seems to bother him. And this guy, as a result, is a good scorer.
Exactly. That's about the only way to stop him once he's making a run at the hoop.
Clark, some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more than 2 points when he finishes with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
Here is Lynn. The Bulls getting the bucket. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. A three ball. And that one's good. Anthony's got 5 points.
You know what? Man, he can really light it up from the rim.
New York comes into this one, following the loss to the Rockets.
Yeah, well, that game defensively was an absolute nightmare. They went into that building and just got blown out by a very hot team.
Well, they didn't defend those shooters like they should have. And once the fans got into it and the arena started rocking and things only got worse.
Here's Rose. 32 points for him last game against Detroit.
He got some huge points from the foul line, too, Kevin. He was very aggressive, generating contact and drawing fouls.
Now here's Butler. Boozer kicks to Butler. Rose with the ball. Now guarded by Shumpert. Chandler with the block. But they get it back. Offensive rebound. Here's Boozer. And finally they hit one.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. They beat the Bulls during their last encounter in Chicago.
Now, the last meeting was a successful one. They were very sharp defensively, causing a lot of turnovers, and that swayed the game in their favor.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, Kev. Mike Woodson had some words for his team over that last break. Anthony was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. He's the star on this team that has the responsibility to make the big play and put points on the scoreboard. Coach wants his guys to facilitate that offensive firepower. He was also adamant that they can take advantage of this defense with the use of solid ball screens in the pick and roll game. It's still very early in this game, so there's plenty of time for those changes to take effect, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. What an easy win for him last time. As Steve mentioned, Clark, the turnover differential was a major factor.
Yeah, I'd call it disruptive in a word from the defensive standpoint. They were all over him the whole game.
The free throw drops for Smith.
People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Thibs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
Go back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago. It is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for him, and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round.
Muhammad dishes to Korver. Shot clock at 5. Here's Heinrich. No luck. And New York will come the other way.
Good glass work there. Rebounds have been tough to come by for them in this quarter.
Well, it looks to me like they're still finding their way out there. Running hands early.
Smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Bulls have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. Hamilton off the pick from Muhammad. Hamilton the pass to Muhammad. There's the screen. Heinrich kicks to Muhammad. Back to Heinrich. Kick out to Hamilton. Goes up to the stripe. Misses off the right eye.
Looked like an easy 2 points right there.
You know he's kicking himself for that.
Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Heinrich outside. Back to Hamilton. A floater, and that's 2 points on the layup.
That's such a feel shot, that floater over the top.
It's tipped. Out of bounds. Knicks ball as New York keeps possession.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
For three, Smith. That's good. Smith's got 6.
Very well done. He is a confident, dynamic scorer.
Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. Knicks out front, up 2. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
Tuesday, April 15th. Ty Lawson and the Denver Nuggets take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. Be there.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong and put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones.
Chicago trailing here. So for Chicago right now, we've got Dang. Heinrich is out there with Marcus Teague. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Gibson in at center. Teague dishes to Gibson. Anthony against Dang. Clock at 6. And the foul called on Kenyon Martin. That's his first foul.
They tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Bulls making a switch here. Noah's checked in. Boozer with it. Now Anthony defending from 18 feet away. And that one's good. Boozer's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Bulls. So it's the Knicks now. And Udrich kicks to Anthony. Pass to Udrich. Back to Anthony. It's good. This time the assist from Udrich. Anthony's got the lead back up to 2 now for the Knicks. The Bulls shooting at 50% in a decent group. Teague with the ball. Now guarded by Udrich. Now Teague. Outside Butler. Clock at 4. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Butler's got the game tied up here for the Bulls.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. It's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves.
Anthony's gotten 4 of his 7 shots to go. This is the Butler. Noah with a screen on Hardaway. And so he draws the foul on the shot. Now trip to the line to shoot 2. Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Knicks.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
And the first one drops. Bulls making a switch here. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Here's Lynn. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
And we'll take a quick look now at the numbers for Amari Stoudemire. He's getting around 16 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
Yeah, how valuable a player he is for them, Steve. Scores are always valuable. He gives them such a reliable option every time they have the ball.
Now here's Rose. 6 points for him. And he banks in the layup. Rose has got 8 points. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times. So No one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Now here's Rose, following the miss by Carmelo Anthony. Just 5 to shoot. Rose, good.
I like the way they've picked it up here offensively in the second.
Well, they've really caught fire. Their shooting percentage is in the high 50s now, so they're rolling.
Well, Duel originally from South Sudan. His family moved to London when he was a teen, and then for him, going to the United States, a worldly player for sure, and he's been involved in a lot of causes, both here in the U.S. and internationally.
Here's Rose after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. Rose attacking.
That's been a great day for him, and remember, he gave them a huge performance their last time out as well.
New York calls timeout. At this point of the game, always important to stay focused, and while the coach goes over the game plan, these players are getting a much-needed chance to rehydrate and refuel with Gatorade. And guys, we know the drill well, all three of us drinking the Gatorade too.
Yeah, no question. Right. I mean, Kevin, people have no idea the fatigue that can set in during a telecast. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated all game long.
Clark, you're always hydrated.
Yeah, I try to be, but it's usually with a combination of H2O and Gatorade.
I love Gatorade. And look at Steve, got the Gatorade shirt on.
Yeah, he's really immersed in the Gatorade.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. He said to his players, we can do a lot of damage if we get more aggressive about driving the lane and taking it into the teeth of this defense. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Stoudemire following the score by Derrick Rose. Stoudemire against Noah, and the call will be against Joakim Noah. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's foul number 2. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Muhammad comes in for Joakim Noah. Montage Gibson is subbed in for Carlos Boozer. Poke loose, and it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Let's take this chance to look at the teams that have been the league's most efficient passers this past month. Number 1, the Bulls.
And what really stands out during this recent stretch is just how well they're passing the ball. This is a club that is very unselfish.
And it's the Knicks with the ball, trailing by 5. Ione passes to Harrelson. And the powerful one-handed slam. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching them go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Martin's checked in for New York. And the free throw, no good.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Shot's good by Gibson.
So they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
The Bulls leading by 3. Outside Rose. He feeds it to Gibson. 1:14 left to play in the first half. Clock at 6. Rose dishes to Hamilton. There's the triple. And the rebound goes to Martin. Martin's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
And so it's New York with it after Chicago picking up the basket just moments ago.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
Here is Korver. Gibson up top. Feeds it to Hamilton. Hamilton can't get that one to fall. Knicks trail by 3. Lynn kicks to Martin. That's good.
See the way he times his passes so well. It's a great assist.
For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. Here's Rose. It's rebounded by Prigioni.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And we're through 2 here and a good one. Bulls lead by 1. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Tyson, coming off the loss in the last game, it seems like you guys are playing with a renewed intensity here tonight. What's been the difference?
Well, we just can't allow them to stay around close. You know, last night we had to let down. Tonight we got to do a better job of getting down, standing our ground, playing defense, and taking advantage of this game.
Tyson, thank you for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Hi, everyone. Damon Bruce here on 2K Sports, the late season edition. Welcome. The Bulls giving it everything they got. They've been having their way inside. A huge lead when it comes to points in the paint, making it very hard to defend against them. Derrick Rose not having much difficulty scoring against the Knicks. We've come to expect performances like this one from him. Looking at New York, they're definitely making plays as well. With 2 quarters left to play, they've been an offensive juggernaut, scoring with impunity. Carmelo Anthony locked in so far. He can't be happy with the losing streak, and he's a man on a mission in the first half to end it. Let's start by looking at seeing what's on tap in the NBA. The Nets out in Brooklyn will go up against the Magic. Game gets going at 6 p.m. Eastern. And one game also on the docket for the Raptors. They'll be up against the Pistons out in Detroit. And another game that's coming up, the Trailblazers will square off against the Warriors. A nice battle in the West there. Game gets going at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be heading back to the court for the rest of our coverage as we go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
He has that slasher mentality, guys. We saw all the evidence of that in the first half as he continually got to the rim and scored.
Yeah, he had the jetpack on today, Steve, blowing by the defender no matter who they put on.
Chicago leading, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for the Knicks, Pablo Prigioni is out there with Jeremy Lin. Then there's Josh Harrelson. Then there's Martin. And it's Anthony in at the small forward. 5 to shoot. He lobs it up. The guys are not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
It's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, very competitive action. I agree with you, Clark. I mean, this one could come down in the last few minutes the way it looks.
And when Melo attacks off the dribble, I think that's when he's really at his best. He's got excellent ball handling skills and footwork for a player of his size. And whether putting the ball in his hands in the pick and rolls or just isoing him in that pinch post area, he is very tough to defend when he gets ahead of steam guard.
Here's Prigioni after the made shot from Joakim Noah, and he gets it to go. 16 points for Carmelo Anthony.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to drive them the ball in the paint.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
Rose passes to Noah. Back to Rose. He dishes it to Boozer. Dang attacking outside Rose. The Knicks pull it in. Martin's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And for Carmelo, attacking the rim makes a lot of sense. His 3-point shot has been streaky over the years. But he looks like he's at least trying, Steve, to diversify his offense.
So I think he needs to attack more often. He can settle for threes. Sometimes he has a tendency to do that. But he's so strong and so quick that I think he's best suited when he really attacks the hole and gets to the foul line.
Now here's Boozer. averaging 18 points a game. And Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, 10 for 10. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
These two teams, guys, look so evenly matched to me. I think this will go right down to the wire.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Thanks, Kev. Mike Woodson had some words for his team over that last break. Better teamwork. That was the message he was drumming home to them. He said, we need better shots. Work the ball around and find the open man. He also went on to talk about protecting the inside. He does not want to see anything easy in the painted area. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Rose, no good.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
Lynn dishes to Anthony. Pass to Stoudemire. Back to Anthony. Another shot. It's played in by Stoudemire. Stoudemire's got 8.
And he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic. It's really strong.
Yeah, and I also love the way he can torture a defense by using the good old-fashioned pick and roll. When they execute it well, and he's on the receiving end of the pass, mark it up. It's 2 points.
And these two teams continuing to trade blows like heavyweights in the middle of the ring.
So many times tonight, the energy in this building has gone from one way to the other.
Chandler's shot. Good.
Pretty much been gold for them. Getting the points on the assist and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
Now here's Boozer. 6 points for him. Back to Butler. Lynn against Rose. Here's Noah, and it's rejected. Goes up on the wing, and the dunk by Chandler. And the Knicks lead by 3. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Noah with a screen for Rose. Terrific design on the big play, and he lays it in. Rose has got 4 points this quarter.
That's just a case of two teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Anthony kicks to Lynn. Back to Anthony. There's the 3. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
You know, guys, Carmelo Anthony last year played pretty much full time at the power forward position, and the results were excellent. I mean, he's got the strength to play inside, and when you look at what he does offensively, it creates a lot of matchup advantages for him and his team.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Hamilton comes in for Boozer, and it's Heinrich in for Rose. Heinrich with it, now guarded by Udrih. Gibson passes to Butler. Kicks it to Dang. The tray. That drops. Dang's got 5. And when you look at Carmelo, do you think, Steve, maybe the success that LeBron had going inside and playing the floor had any influence on Melo playing inside?
I think there's no doubt, Kevin. The league has gone smaller in a lot of ways. A lot of former 3 men are now becoming 4s. The only way to do that, though, is if you have the strength to deal with bigger players, and Melo certainly has that strength.
Now Gibson following the miss by J.R. Smith from deep. Good! Now it's a 4-point Bulls lead, and 1:01 left here in the third quarter. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Butler kicks to Hamilton, and the layup is good after a nice sweep pass. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. New York calls timeout.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Different look for New York. Harrelson's checked in, and it's Martin in for Stoudemire. And now, here are a set of teams that have held their opponents to very few points in the second half of the season. The Bulls third.
Yeah, I think the coaches really challenged this club at the break to improve their defense, and that's exactly what they've done.
New York's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And Udrih kicks to Martin. To the middle. Gibson with the steal. got 33 seconds left to play here in the third. Heinrich kicks to Gibson. Rejected by Martin. And he's able to get it back. And he gets it to go. Gibson's got 8 points. We got 22 seconds left to play in the third. And there's the pass to Harrelson. Hardaway from outside. Kirk Heinrich with the rebound.
Yeah, they needed that hoop to try to stop this run.
They just seem to keep coming up empty. You got to slow it down and get a good shot.
Here's Hamilton. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
Bulls shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. Hamilton hits both of them.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Udrih. No luck. Now through 3/4 of play, down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome. Bulls out front, up by 10. And we're coming right back after this break to get the 4th quarter underway.
Tune in Monday, April 14th. LeBron James and the Miami Heat take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. An Eastern Conference showdown. Big time hoops coming your way.
And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, this had to be the choice. It was an absolutely sensational feat, putting it way up there above the rim so that only his teammate could catch it. And not only does he do it, but he powers it down from there.
The timing of these plays are just phenomenal.
No question.
So for Chicago right now, up front, Boozer and Noah. Derrick Rose is out there with John Lucas, and it's Dang in at the small forward position. And it will go, and the Bulls lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Anthony. The Bulls shooting has just been outstanding tonight, 56% as a team in this game. Passes to Rose. Rose off the hit from Noah. Rose against Land. Rose, that's good. Rose has got 20 points.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense all game long, guys. He's drained a lot of shots out here.
And between now and the horn, Steve, the ball should be in his hands as much as possible if they want to continue to build this lead.
Second three-pointer of the half. York overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
Noah with the screen on Lynn. Lucas dishes to Rose. Boozer with the screen for Rose. 6 to shoot. Sweet little floater. Rose has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, he shows us he knows how to finish with a flourish.
Rose against Land. Out to Anthony. And that one goes long. The Bulls leading by 8. Dang passes to Lucas. Back to Dang. He kicks to Lucas. The dish to Dang. New York's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Rose goes in and is blocked by Lynn, and they get it back. And he nails the 3. Nice shot from beyond the arc there from Lucas. And now an 11-point Bulls lead. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen really are results of that aggressiveness.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively. They've been turning those turnovers into points.
The Bulls have gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming up with one call here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting. He wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning the timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Got that one. The Bulls lead has been up to just 7 on the basket from Zucker.
That's got a dozen straight points coming in wide open three-pointers.
You know what it looks like to me out there, guys? I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend out there. We know how much defense is played there. It's actually defense during the All-Star Weekend, no D.
Now here's Rose. So the whistle blows on the shot with 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Guys, Derrick Rose is a native son of Chicago. He grew up in the dangerous Inglewood neighborhood, the youngest of 4 brothers. But from very early on, his talent for the game was apparent. Those older brothers of his, they shielded him and protected him like an ember of hope for the entire family. And he certainly has allowed his light to shine brightly.
Now here's Lynn. Here's Shumpert. And again, New York with the triple.
Well, I'll tell you what, since the beginning of the fourth quarter, the three-point shot has really just been there for him. Everything's falling.
Yeah, the touch from downtown is right on point.
And clocking it back to Rose, the city of Chicago, as you expected, has embraced him. You know, it's interesting, Steve, to be a high pick, but drafted by your hometown team. The pressure is pretty interesting.
I love at the United Center when they introduce him, they just say, from Chicago, Derrick Rose. But, you know, with all the attention he gets, he's a very private and reserved person. There's a lot of respect amongst his teammates because he just handles himself with such class.
Here's Rose after Jeremy Lin's bucket. And it's Rose penetrating. And there's Dang. That's good on the assist by Rose. 8 points for Luol Deng.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. They need to get the ball into the post. He made that abundantly clear. Their entry passes haven't nearly been sharp enough for him. He also wants them to concentrate on working as a team at the offensive end. Passing, patience, and teamwork. Those were the messages. Guys, we've seen how coach's direction pays off as Richmond winds down.
Thanks again, Doris. Rose off the bit from Noah. Rose kicks it to Noah. Here's Boozer. Yes, it's Rose with the assist that time. 8 points for Carlos Boozer.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Lynn dishes to Chandler. Rose against Lynn. And again, New York with the triple.
You know, the more these three-pointers continue to get to the more you can sense the frustration coming from this defense.
No question. No matter what they've thrown at them, they've not been able to take that shot away.
Rose kicks to Butler. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Butler's got 4 this quarter.
They've been so efficient in the paint in this game. That's an area they've totally dominated.
You know, once they ID'd the edge they had inside, they just continued to attack it.
Here's Stoudemire. Can't get it to go. Excellent defense there from Boozer. The Bulls leading by 5. Rose with the ball. And it's Lynn picking him up. Rose attacking. And he gets it to go. Rose has got 26 points.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Mike Woodson was giving to his team. He doesn't want them settling for outside shots anymore. He wants the points to come at the rim. Look for them to really start attacking that basket. Gentlemen, some late game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
And thank you for that, Doris. Here's Lynn, following the score by Derrick Rose. Then the pass to Carmelo. On the arc. Yes! What a beautiful shot to put it within 3.
Tell you what, this game very well could hinge on
decide to talk it over. They lead by 3. 34 seconds left in the fourth. Seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Outside Rose. Connects.
His stroke is dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Anthony. It's good. What a beautiful shot to put him within 3.
That's how you get the foul on the feet. Huge. But they've been waiting for that one, guys.
And they commit an intentional foul. It's another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Hey, you can't let them pound the ball or you blow those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he can't get the second one to drop either. I'm not lucky that time.
Major missed opportunity. This would have been game over, guys.
New York calls timeout. They trail by 3. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, down 3, you don't necessarily have to go for the 3. You could go for the quick bucket and then the foul.
I'm not sure. I mean, in this situation, I think they should look for the 3, Steve. I mean, try to tie this thing up. You got 3-point shooters. Let it fly.
To force OT.
He knocks down the 3 to extend the game. Wow.
Well, if you love great competition and neck-to-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for the Knicks. Anthony, Stoudemire, and Chandler, their front line. Smith is out there with Jeremy Lin.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
There's the feed to Stoudemire. Pass to Carmelo. Lets it fly. And right through it goes. Anthony's got it all tied up now for the Knicks.
They can't seem to do anything to slow him down.
Hey, this is a scoring clinic. I mean, he's got it going on.
Here's Rose. And Chandler sends it back. Here's Anthony. The basket good off the assist from Lin. And that's got a 37-point for Carmelo Anthony. Rose dishes the Butler. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And finished off by Noah.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Here's Lin. After the made shot from Joakim Noah. And you can count he'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. That's going to send Jeremy Lin to the free throw line. That's on Joakim Noah.
The defense keeps coming up short. Just no solution for Lin. He's got 10 points. He's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
Well, the defenders have that in the back of their minds now, too, so they're going to close out on him quickly. That should allow him to use the drive if he wants. Boy, what a great and run right there. These are the kind of plays that win you basketball games, guys.
Here's Rose. Goes to the reverse layup and taps it in. Rose has got 32 points in the game.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Stoudemire with the bucket.
I love the plan here. Set up the opportunity for this guy.
quarter.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Here's Smith. It's in!
Crucial basket. They needed it, and he gave it to them.
Bulls have gone as far as 4 or 5 in the quarter since the start of overtime. Rose goes in. Good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Boy, right now it's really tough to stop Rose.
Lynn against Rose. Lynn kicks the chamber, and it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Now here's Lynn, and it's Smith penetrating. Money!
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Now if it results in next time.
For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 6 in the field here in overtime. So far, they are rolling. There's Rose with the 3. Knicks with the rebound, and so they choose to intentionally foul. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 3. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first overtime. Guys, what do you think?
Well, down 3, you don't necessarily have to go for the 3. You could go for the quick bucket and then the foul.
I'm not sure. I mean, in this situation, I think they should look for the 3 speed. I mean, try to tie this game up. You got 3-point shooter. Let it go.
A big play there to mute the crowd.
Yeah, that one kind of took all of the life out of them there, Kev.
Kind of quieted the voices in here, didn't it?
So it's the Knicks now. Then the pass to Anthony. Back to Lynn. He feeds it to Carmelo. From downtown. Bullseye.
His performance from long range has been incredible.
You know that was your shot, Steve, and today it's his too.
So post-game sees New York take this one. Clark, what a game.
Yeah, they kept their cool, stayed with the game plan, and that's why they came out on top.
And so now we'll go down to Doris Burke, who's standing by live with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Carmelo, how were you able to take control of this game and pull out the win here tonight?
We willed our way to this win. It wasn't easy. We knew it was going to be a battle, but they came back, made some runs. We stuck with it. We won the game tonight.
Carmelo, thank you. Kevin, sometimes it's more about the will than the skill.
Thank you, Doris. And folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony.